This program is brought to you by Ignite TV. Now you're in command. Visit Rogers.com for more details.
Good afternoon, everyone. Welcome. We are here again for the 41st annual Mount Pearl Frosty Festival. It's so good to see all of your beautiful faces. Are you excited to be back in this way? I sure am. We've been through a lot in these last couple of years, but it's so nice that we can come together in this way again to meet old friends and have conversation and to celebrate this wonderful festival. The largest festival in Atlantic Canada, I might add, with so many volunteers, so many corporate partnerships. My name is Sharon Snow with NTV and Oz FM, and we are your very proud major sponsor for the 41st annual Mount Pearl Frosty Festival. In case you haven't realized, I'm going to be your master of ceremonies for this afternoon, and we're going to keep this very tight schedule. We're going to enjoy a wonderful lunch, which is being served now shortly. And how wonderful. Keith has really stepped it up a notch, and the festival crew, haven't you, with a sit-down luncheon. How lovely, with all that fancy table setting. It's almost like a wedding, so you never know what could happen before we leave here. We've got a bunch of cameras here, so we're going to get everything on camera. That'll make a great lead story for tonight. So we have a couple of, we have more than a couple, we have quite a number of special guests. The Honorable Krista Lynn Howell, Minister of Municipal and Provincial Affairs, representing Government of Newfoundland and Labrador, joins us this afternoon. We have Paul Lane, MHA for District of Mount Pearl Southlands, with his grandson here as well. We have Lucy Stolz, MHA for the District of Mount Pearl North. Lucy, where are you? Oh, there she is in the back. And of course, His Worship, Mayor Dave Aker, and members of the Mount Pearl Council. Put your hands up, yay! This year's festival runs from Wednesday, February 8th to Tuesday, February 14th, and features over 60 events. The Mount Pearl Frosty Festival offers quality package of diverse entertainment that caters to all demos. Some events, as you well know, are ticketed, and many are free of charge. Event tickets go on sale to the general public this Saturday, January 14th at 10 a.m. Tickets are available online at frostyfestival.ca. As in past years, events are expected to sell out quickly, so to be sure to get the tickets that you're looking for so you won't be disappointed. Frosty Festival, of course, I'd mentioned earlier, we can't do it without our community partners and partnerships, and of course, all of the volunteers. And as you can appreciate, it takes a lot of volunteers, 500 plus to be precise, to make all of this happen. Now going to hear from Wanda Tillard. She's going to say a few words. Come on up, Wanda. And Wanda is the chairperson for this year's festival.
Good afternoon, everyone, and welcome to the launch of the 41st Annual Mount Pearl Frosty Festival. On behalf of the Board of Directors, I would like to thank each and every one of you for joining us today and for your continued support. I recognize everyone is busy and your time is valuable, and I appreciate that you decided to spend your lunch hour with us today. The Frosty Festival is a volunteer-driven organization. Our volunteer board of directors has been working hard and meeting regularly since last year's festival to bring you more than 60 events over 7 days. And at this time, I'd like to introduce you to these hard-working individuals. Denise French, chairperson. Renee Pendergast, immediate past chairperson. Keith White, chairperson, treasurer and past chairperson. And our directors, Aaron O'Brien, Sherry Philpott, Leanne O'Neill, Mike Mooney, Rosie Stead, Susan Crane, and our festival staff, Wanda Mooney. In addition to the board of directors, the festival organization includes representatives from more than 20 local community groups who host events throughout the festival. They're at the core of the festival, and without their involvement, the festival would not achieve such an overwhelming success. I sincerely thank each and every one of you for your dedication and support. Thank you as well to our partner, the City of Mount Pearl, Council, and City staff for your continued support. We honestly couldn't do this without you. I'd also like to recognize and thank our many corporate sponsors and our governing partners for joining us today and for your unwavering support. These government partners and corporate sponsors are highlighted on the screen to my left, and on the banners hanging on the black drape. Your generosity allows us to provide a winter festival that has accessibility to as many people as possible, and where possible, free of charge. Thank you. Recognizing that we have a number of speakers today, I would like to conclude by once again thanking each and every one of you for your support. I know that you could be doing so many other things with your resources and time, and we truly appreciate that you've chosen to support the Mount Pearl Frosty Festival. Have a great day, and I look forward to seeing you at the festival.
Thank you, Sharon. Thank you very much for the opportunity. Good afternoon. It is a pleasure to be here with you to celebrate, to join the City of Mount Pearl and its partners in launching the 2023 Frosty Festival. And to see it return in this capacity is certainly encouraging for us as communities and as we move forward doing things together. Since 1983, this festival has been celebrating community while embracing our wintry weather. And amazingly, it has become the largest festival of its kind in Atlantic Canada, with approximately 60 events taking place over 7 days in February. Now that sounds like a few busy days for my colleagues, MHA Stoyles and MHA Lane. So it's a pleasure to see you guys here today. And I know that you're going to have your hands full for the next little while attending these events. And the council as well. You guys are certainly in for an exciting time. This festival relies heavily on the dedication and creativity of volunteers, community groups, nonprofits, sports groups, local residents, and all the above. Congratulations to you all for your commitment and your success over the years. And I was chatting with the festival chairperson here, Wanda Tiller, and she was telling me that she started out selling buttons for Frosty years and years ago. And she got hooked and she's been roped in ever since. So it's certainly a pleasure to see people who've had long-standing commitments. The winter months here in Newfoundland and Labrador are long and cold, and events like the Frosty Festival allow residents to prioritize their social well-being by getting out and participating in activities. And many of the Frosty Festival events focus on physical activity too, which is a double bonus. So it's fantastic to be part of that, and the government of Newfoundland and Labrador is certainly proud to partner in that event. They've been supporting the Frosty Festival since 2007, and again this year has contributed from the Cultural Events Fund. And my colleague, Minister Steve Crocker, sends regrets that he couldn't join us today, but I will gladly take the place of anybody who signs up for a lunch. I'm certainly glad to be here to be part of your event today. As the Minister of Municipal and Provincial Affairs, it's encouraging and it fills me with pride to see how communities have come together and how you work on things and make things a reality for your communities. And I'm sure that the councillors who are sitting here today are no stranger to that. They can relate to how you work hard, work diligent to make things happen for your communities and make life better for your residents. And that's exactly what the committee has been able to pull off here. So thank you again. It certainly is such a pleasure. And I certainly look forward to all the events that are upcoming and that will be beginning later in the week. Get your tickets. Apparently the mayor is touting it as a great events and that tickets are going to sell out right away. So as soon as they're available, get online, get your tickets, and we'll see you around. Thank you. Take care.
Well, thank you, Minister Howe. So lovely to have you here. And you spoke so eloquently about the engagement of community and partnerships, and that's what this is all about. And it's so wonderful. I live in Mount Pearl. I know the feeling of community in this city, and I just love it. And so it's no wonder that this has been going strong for so many years, that we are in our 41st annual, and the amount of commitment and partnership with the city of Mount Pearl, that is very strong as well. One other thing, Keith, I heard the mayor. Where are you, Keith? There you are. I heard the mayor while we were eating lunch. He's wondering where you're getting the money to pay for the sit-down lunch, man. Where's it come? Pardon? Oh, we're going to want $10 before you get out of this place to help pay for the luncheon. Mayor Dave Aker, we'd love to have you, and I've given the mayor strict rules. 7 minutes.
7 minutes?
7 minutes, that's a lot.
Let's welcome everybody. It's my pleasure to be here for the launch of the 41st Frosty Festival. Yes, we've had a 2-year hiatus, but we're proud and honored to have you all in this room with us tonight. Protocol has already been established, but I'd like to tell you, I'm joined by my council colleagues here today, all except one. So I'd just like to single out some people who are very, very strong supporters, both in terms of their community involvement as well as their council engagement. Deputy Mayor Kiley's here. Big round of applause, please. Also a pleasure to be joined by Councillor Jim Locke. Good to see you, Jim. Sharon, Jim just retired from Mount Pearl Senior High, but he tells me next year the Mount Pearl Senior High Photography Club will be here to take your picture, right? Next year, right? Also good to see Councillor Antle is here. I think Councillor Antle had to leave to attend to a meeting, but he was here for the beginning of the show. Councillor Chelsea Lane is here, and she's brought, thank you, and she's brought Max with her. So it's nice to see Max here for his first visit to the Frosty Festival. And, of course, we're also joined today by Councillor Mark Rice. Good to see you, Mark. Councillor Fry is under the weather, and she sends her regrets, but she says she will be here for the launch on February 8th. Folks, today we have the Frosty part taken care of. Now, after today, we've launched the festival, and now we have the Frosty Festival in place. We're glad to be back. You know, we really missed it, and I think it's been said by the minister and by the chairperson that the Frosty Festival is so much part of the well-being, not only of the citizens of Mount Pearl, but also within this region. It's good for the economic development potential that we see with all the sponsors and all the businesses here today. It's also really good for the physical activity that it provides to our residents. It also is very good for our mental health. So we've really missed it. We're glad it's back. Wanda, you're the most modest person in the room. She thanked us for taking time out of our busy schedule. But in reality, the busiest people in this room today are Wanda Tiller and the Frosty Board of Directors. Give them a big round of applause. Thanks to all the sponsors. Thank you to all the volunteers. And I also want to single out, under the leadership of Dana Spurl, our CAO, thank you to the city staff who contribute to all this. It truly is a community effort. We're going to start on February 8th with Eddie Shear. He's going to be down to the parade leading down to St. David's on February 8th. And then we're going to end on Valentine's Day. Ready for this? Benson Buffett is going to host on Valentine's Day Battle of the Brains. So thank you, Gary Peddle. Very romantic, sir. Thank you very much. But we look forward to a week of fun and festive events. Keith White tells me that we have the same number of events that we traditionally have, but we've compressed it down to 7 days and still 60 events. And we're still looking for volunteers or anybody who wants to help in big ways and small. If you said, and you were talking to Sheila Guy Murphy during this event today, I can tell you right now she's recruiting. Sheila, they'll be in the show Friday night, won't they, right? Yeah. All right, so anyway, thank you and Terry for joining us. We're looking forward to a fine week in February. COVID is not behind us, and we need to remind ourselves that it's had a limiting effect. on our community, but we're strong. We've thrived, and this is the best time of the year to celebrate not just the weather, but our community spirit. So folks, thanks for having us here today, and congratulations to the Board of Directors and everybody here involved. Let's enjoy the Frosty Festival. Thanks very much.
Thank you very much, Mayor. So as you alluded to, 60 events in 7 days. That's a lot. We're going to go through just a couple of them. Rogers presents the pedestrian parade of lights and the lighting, the cauldron. Frosty's Brew Fest, that's a beer tasting. TD presents the Frosty and Friends Breakfast. Critters and Things presents the Frosty Festival Dog Walk. Dominion presents Frosty's Big Birthday Party. The North Atlantic Orange Store presents Shanneganuk, the Navigators, and the Irish Descendants, and that sells out so quickly. Eastern Edge and Ready Kilowatt Credit Unions present the Princesses and Pirates Breakfast. Old Dutch presents Frosty's Lip Sync. Benson Buffett presents Battle of the Brains. And the big extravaganza show, Be Who You Want to Be, featuring Ta-Da Events. And that is presented by Munn Insurance, and that's going to be a wonderful evening. And here to give us a preview of the show is the one, the only, Sheila Guy Murphy of Ta-Da Events. Come on down, Sheila. Woo! Kicking it up a notch. Let's do it.
Okay, I'm ready for this. I hope you're ready for it. February 10th. Get ready, because Ta-Da Events, as only Ta-Da Events can do, is going to be performing at the Glacier in an incredible, extremely fantastic, spectacular, over the moon, over the top, and that's just me, I'm the host. Then there's, I knew you'd like that, and you're so much taller, yeah. See, you don't have to be tall to be just who you want to be. And you think by now, Lindsay Andrews, that I wouldn't be popping that mic, wouldn't you? This show, Just Be Who You Want to Be, presented by Ta-Da Events, directed by the incredible, the one and only, the master musical theater director of all time. Hi, Amanda, how are you? Terry Andrews. Nobody can touch Terry for the shows. And of all of you who've seen some of her shows in the past, like Chicago, Divas, I was in that too. Thank you, Sharon. This show, Just Be Who You Want to Be, says it all. It's talking about inclusivity. It's talking about sharing, it's talking about love, it's talking about kindness, and it's talking about really fabulous dancers, musicians, singers. You're going to see the Divas dancers up there, and you know what those people are like. We've got some of the best musical directors, choreographers in the country who are putting this together. Over Paul Lane, I told you, you don't believe me, over 100 singers, dancers, and musicians on that stage. And I would like to thank Munn Insurance. Where are you? Where's Munn? There's Munn over there. Look, they are rah. They got a team shirt on. They're going rowing down on the pond after. Yeah. Thanks a lot. The Nolan people of Munn Insurance have been civic-minded people forever. They're always contributing, and they've stepped up big time by presenting this show. Now, just like to say, we've got a few interesting people in this. I almost said divas, but that would be me again. Just be who you want to be. Well, let me tell you. We've got some people who are going to be in kinky boots, and they are spectacular performers. We've got Craig Sharp. We've got Evan Smith. We've got, oh, wait for it, Patrina Bromley. I know, there was a big inhalation of air, yeah. And it is going to be, wow. Now, I was talking to Lindsay Andrews, and he said, boy, you know, Sheila, how does Terry Andrews do it all the time? She keeps raising the bar. And I said, hon, that's only so I can walk under it. Now, see, there's somebody who actually has a sense of humor. Who was that? That was you, wasn't it? Yeah, free ticket for you too. Terry, get their names. So I would just like to say that today we're going to give you a little taste. Hiya, buddy. No, I don't. No, that's your thing. I got my own thing. I'm going to do it right now. It's singing and dancing, playing a musical instrument all at the same time. All right, just kidding. So what I'm going to do now, so that you can all get back to work, but I'm so glad you're all here. And, oh, by the way, there's a piece of paper or a cube on your tables there, and that's got all the sponsors' names on there. And have a look to say thank you to all those people. And I am now going to take a moment to introduce you to the performers that are performing in the show coming up, Just Be Who You Want to Be, directed by Terry and especially created for Frosty Festival. Oh, by the way, I'm not from Mount Pearl, but Sims, where are you? I wanted to be in Mount Pearl, but Sims wouldn't let husband amalgamate. Just thought I'd get that in. And I didn't hand out buttons 41 years ago because I was only 4. So anyway, without much further ado, I'm just going to tell you who's going to come up here and perform. Who are you pointing at, Terry? To somebody I forgot? Wind it up. Are you out of your mind? She was up here for a good 20 minutes just getting her face all over Facebook. No, not happening. Anyway, okay, here we go. We have accompanying our singers today is Phil Roberts. Now, Phil has got a list of credentials mile long. In fact, he has so many credentials. He has a doctorate. Dr. Phil. Dr. Phil is going to be playing the piano today for 2 fabulous performers. First person you're going to hear is Anna Rumbold. Now, Anna is from Gander, and she has a bachelor's degree in music and honors, and she is working now on her master's in vocal performance. We've got really great musicians and singers in this company. And the next person you're going to hear from is Barbara Bardot. Now, Barbara came from Toronto, where in 2018, she decided to try the drag business. And that was her first performance then. And she found out that she was really flipping good at it. And she moved to St. John. No, I won't, you really are. And she came to St. John's in 2020. And she has been strutting her stuff all over the city in legal places. And she has been performing. And she is going to be performing in Kinky Boots. And she's also going to be performing in Just Be Who You Want to Be. So I'm really thrilled. So without further ado, I would like to call upon Phil. Dr. Phil, are you good? You ready to go? Okay. And Anna Rumbold.
My parents must have thought they had a crazy kid, 'cause I was one of those kids who always knew what I wanted. They took me down to the airport to see all the planes depart, and watching them fly, something inside of me was starting. I was 8 when I told them that I'd be a pilot. But I was too young and too short, and there were no female captains. And my dad said, be patient, he said, just see what happens. So I took my first lesson, came down from the sky, and told my father I'd fly for the rest of my life. So I got my first job flying for a mortician in a tiny Bonanza, just a corpse and me, $5 an hour for flying dead bodies. I had to climb over their faces just to get to my seat. And suddenly the wheels lift off, the ground is falling backwards. I am suddenly alive. Suddenly I'm in the cockpit. Suddenly everything's changed. Suddenly So I applied as a flight engineer. But the World War II pilots, they all complained. They said girls shouldn't be in the cockpit. Hey lady, hey baby, hey, why don't you grab us a drink? And the flight attendants were my friends back then, and they said, are you better than us, do you think?
When I was just a kid, everything I did was to be like him. Under my skin, my father always thought if I was strong and fought, not like some albatross, I'd begin to fit in. Look at me, powerless and holding my breath, trying hard to repress what scared him to death. It was never easy to be his type of man. To breathe freely was not in his plan. And the best part of me is what he wouldn't see. I'm not my father's son. I'm not the image of what he dreamed of. With the strength of Sparta and the patience of Job, still couldn't be the one to echo what he'd done and mirror what was not in me.
That's going to wrap up our luncheon and our launch for the 41st Annual Mount Pearl Frosty Festival. Thank you, all of you, for taking that time out of your schedule to spend some time with us. Also, another special guest in the house is Frosty himself. He's right down at the back. Hi, Frosty. Hi, Frosty. Remember, tickets go on sale on Saturday, frostyfestival.ca. Be listening to Oz FM. Be watching NTV. Connect with all the social media platforms to get all of the information on the Frosty Festival. Have a great afternoon, everyone.